Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know.
I can't even hear him.
Yeah, Ed couldn't hear you, Sean. You might have to put your amp on so Ed can hear that.
Yeah, the way they, I think they give him a break on his electric bill after, I don't know, is it after 5 o'clock you get a break?
Yep. You know, I do not have a air conditioner program because I don't run an AC, a whole house. But I keep getting invited by consumers. Hey, you want to get on this special air conditioner plan? We may turn it off when you really need it. Negative. I have consumers' energy.
Illinois.
Hell, I'm turning up to 440. I can't hardly copy you, Sean. What's that? Yeah.
Maury should get a discount. He's near the Fermi plants.
I'm right in between the two of them.
KD9HAB is back listening.
Live between the two of them because I'm sure if anything gets going on with Russia, they're going to try and take them both out. And I'm going to have stereo bombs.
Power plant here, Maury.
That would be an oucher.
You know, Sean, they're going to want your neighborhood, too, because of that bridge. Norm's in here, too. Hi, Norm.
Yeah, you'll hear more unless I go to sleep. Yeah, it's too bad you're not going down to Xenia with us. How am I going to recognize you? Oh, youngest, huh? I thought I was.
Maybe. Yeah, I would say maybe you'd be close to it, huh?
Maybe the youngest 85-year-old. How's that sound?
Yeah. Yeah, I would, I can concur with that. Yeah, if I wouldn't have made other plans, I still probably would have had to really think about those plans with you, Bill, and that other guy.
Hey, Sean, I like that new phrase we heard last night.
What was that?
Hanging on like a hair on a biscuit.
Dude, I love that.
I wrote that one down, man. That one's too good to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I forgot who said it, man, but I about died laughing in my chair.
Rock and Rave from Colliersville, Tennessee.
No, I don't think so. WB8VOW. All right, I got the list started. EES is my wingman. HAV, YAV, number 4, JJM5, XUY6, DXJ7, SOB, your 8, followed by PFC. Anybody else? This is the Wolverine single sideband net.
Kilo Echo 8, Alpha Victor Tango.
Kilo 8 Tango Alpha Sierra. Nice timing, Taz.
No, he was off. He's just a little early, but we'll put him in 13.
I had him in at 13 for some reason.
I got 8. Let's see. I got AVT at 10. Hey, Harold, you're a perfect 10. N8 ERV at 11, and TAS at 13.
That's new math.
Will from Twining was in there too.
Well, that's there we go. What's Will's call sign?
Echo Kilo Kilo, is that right?
I can look it up.
Good to have the triple nickel running the show today.
Always.
Check in KHCGS.
Hi, Greg.
Hey, Sean, band's not up yet, is it?
It's all right. I'm just QRP.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back, guys. I got to do the dog thing, and it's not too early to check in, I guess. But if Rusty's listening, KH is here. Be back a little bit, guys.
Number 14.
He's got ya.
49, did you say?
No, 14. 14.
Roger that.
Roger, Roger.
You for 13.
Hey, Taz. Oh, there's a check-in. That's Tom.
Check-in, whiskey and vodka. Roger that. Whiskey Baker 8, whiskey and vodka.
Good old whiskey and vodka.
I got the supper call. Get me on the list.
Good to hear you.
Hey, it's good to hear you, Jeff.
He's right there with the noise level. I could just barely tell he's there.
Hey, it's good to hear you, Jeff.
Yeah, good to hear you too. A little lower than what I'm used to, but I can hear you.
That's what I get for running my amp all the time.
You've spoiled us, Sean. You've spoiled us.
I know it.
Thanks, guys. I got the dinner call. WB.
Catch you later.
Have a good dinner, buddy.
Was Tom in and out?
No, he'll be back. He had the dinner call.
Oh, okay.
Depends on which time you're talking about.
Well, you can't have too many. I know that.
We've got Tom's and we've got Georgia.
Hi there, Mr. S.A. Hello to Taz. He isn't filled in number 12 yet. I took a shower this morning, so I know that ain't the reason. Hi, Tom.
K9JJM at 10 after.
Oh my gosh, it's almost time for pre-net.
Imagine that.
I hope I'm not late.
Don't make us dock you.
I don't mind you getting into the pay. It's when you take away the vacations.
And I got your back, Taz.
I hear you, Sean. No, we would never do that. And we wouldn't take away a holiday.
All right, I got Will in there at number 12. See, you guys were wondering what was going on with number 12. We got Will in there, KC8EXV, and so that means we got number 16 open, and it's almost time for prenet. So, hey, why wait? Jump on the list. WB8VOW is taking check-ins. Anybody hear from Larry lately? I just have been missing him on the net, I think.
Yeah, been in the game.
The W8LS.
Oh, hey, I haven't heard that Larry either.
Oh, RMN, yeah, Larry, yeah. He was in here during the weekend.
That's good. I'm trying to remember. You guys might be able to. Who was the lady that used to check in? And I thought maybe it was just because we lost her over last summer. But I want to say it was like a KO4 COM or something like that. But there was this is sweet little old lady who got her license in her 80s down in, I think it was Cottage, Tennessee or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it was Janet.
Question mark. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think it was like a KO. It was a really interesting call. I'll have to go back in my logs, but I'll have to see if I can find her and send her an email from us. But yeah, I know I looked her up once on QRZ, and she was just the cutest little gal. She was, she didn't look necessarily her age, but she really looked grandmotherish, and I was always very impressed that she got her license in her 80s.
KATAS-NADRV.
NAERV, KTAS. Yes, Todd.
I had a question yesterday, but never got a chance to ask it. So now I'll ask it now. How far are you guys from Dundee?
We're about a half hour.
A lot farther than I am.
We're about a half hour.
Well, luckily you didn't get visited by that twisty thing.
I would think Rusty is closer, but no, we had our turn a few years ago.
So did Dundee, though. I think Dundee had one in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, they just had one.
That's kind of the way they're rebuilding the town section at a time. The first one went through the north part, and this one I heard hit downtown. I don't know how bad it is, but I'm hoping it didn't hit my homemade beer shop, because that's right downtown too.
Yeah, it was downtown. It missed the outskirts, like the one that hit here a few years ago. It was touching down and up and go, and then it come back down, went down our road here.
Well, somebody brought up the Palm Sunday tornadoes yesterday, I think, and the Palm Sunday tornado, one of them hit the lumber yard that was 4 blocks down at the end of my street. It hopped over my house, and then it went down this very residential street. And to give you an idea, I grew up in a neighborhood that was I want to say it was probably, maybe 4 miles by 4 miles of nothing but houses and very few businesses. And so huge neighborhood in West Toledo. And I was like 10 years old, and I can remember me and my best friend walking down streets the day after, and these houses were close together. You know, they were about 8 foot apart, 10 foot apart maybe, and you'd see the wall of a house peeled back with the drywall gone, but the shelves still there and vases sitting on the shelves. And the house next door, 10 foot away, totally unscathed.
Hey, Rusty?
Yeah.
That was Linda out of Cottage Grove, Tennessee. Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra Oscar Whiskey. KO4 SOW.
All right, I'm going to shoot her an email because I'd love to know what happened to her, even though we're probably getting to the season where it would be hard for her to check in. But I'll just tell her that we were all thinking about her on the Wolverine Single Sideband Net.
Good deal, good deal. Yeah, it looks like she does have her email on QRZ. Nice picture of her. She's 84 years old, and she had just gotten her general license toward the end of 2021. So, yeah, that'd be good. If you get anything back, let us know.
Oh, I sure will. Yeah, and isn't she the cutest thing? I mean, I think she's the cutest little grandma I've seen.
Yeah, for sure. So you got the call right there, KO4SOW?
Yeah, I remember the Kilo Oscar, and I remember the last part was, I don't know, awkward. You know, I mean, at least it wasn't SOB.
That one could have been Sweet Old Woman.
Oh, man, that's great. Yeah. Although I'm not going to call her that.
Yeah, I know, but sweet, man. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, I'm glad I can find that for you. That's, I was, yeah, once you mentioned her, I said, yep, that sparked my interest. I had to find out.
Yeah, sometimes we lose track of people that, you know, it's just really kind of a loss for all of us, and like to know what happened to them, or make sure that they know we're thinking of them and that they meant something to us when they checked in. It's like Taz yesterday talking about Greg, man. Geez, I was touched.
He didn't hear you. He was out of the room.
Oh, I only say sweet things once in a row. You'll have to tell him.
What did he do?
Oh, he just talked about, you know, Greg was talking about other hobbies, and Taz just, you know, he was really sweet to Greg and said, you know, how much we'd miss Greg if he wasn't a part of our group, which all of it was true. It was just so poignant.
Oh, yeah, and it's true. It is true. We'd really miss Greg.
Yeah, that's the guy on Southwest Michigan.
Hey, Rusty, what data are you going to collect tonight?
Well, Maury, I've been waiting for somebody to ask that question. And, you know, I was going to ask if you've ever been indicted for crimes. No, just kidding. I'm not going there. I don't want to open that box. I was going to ask, hey, what's the next step for your shack? and make sure everybody knows it's like 2 minutes or less, because I know some of you guys, you're going to go on and on and on and on and on, and all I want to know is what's the next step? What's the next thing on your list for your shack? And, I figure if we all hear each other's plans and dreams and whatever, who knows, we might find a few things that we might want to do as well.
Well, I can answer that right now, Rusty. I'm 85 years old, and one of these days, shortly, I'm going to close the door.
Oh, well, I didn't say the final step. Come on.
No, it's true. I mean, hey, I'm going to close the door and lock it and forget it.
That sounds like 35 indictments.
That sounds like Maury getting way too serious for the Wolverine Signal sideband net. Hey, we're into pre-net. Man, it slipped right by me, and I didn't even give it an invite here. This is WB8VOW, and I am proudly representing the wonderful Wolverine Single Sideband net. Now, our net's really cool because, you could talk about your day, you could talk about the subject tonight, or, you can pretty much talk anything but religion and politics because, we know better than to do that. At any rate, you don't have to be a Wolverine. You don't have to be a member. Hey, just if you're listening in and you're looking for a place to light and a family to belong to, hey, we got a great one here. So if you'd like to give me a call and get on the pre-net list, it's a pretty short pre-net list for 7 minutes into the pre-net. We're looking for a Sweet 16. If you'd like to be Sweet 16 tonight, give me a call. WB8VOW.
N8LTR. Oh, that's got to be me.
Oh yeah, it fits so well. How you doing, Bill?
I've been better, Rusty. I have snapped a bicep muscle and have to undergo 15 weeks of PT, and it hurts like you can't believe.
Well, quit arm wrestling those Ukrainians, man. They're strong.
Something like that, but you take all the fun out of it. You won't let us talk about politics. Oh well, I should know better. So anyhow, I'll let you continue with your check-in list, and hopefully we'll get a pile of them tonight. N8LTR.
He keeps opening up the box, Bill.
How Bill snapped his bicep. Let's see, my other guess would be that you were out with your girlfriend, Helga, and you were arguing over the check.
I was arguing with my new girlfriend and her 110-pound tires. That's how I did it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. That's, and that's one of those things you don't know. You don't know you overdid it until you know it, and then there's no taking it back.
You know that one. This is W8A. You know when that happens right off the bat.
Yeah, I felt it. I didn't hear it because the air compressor was running 3 feet from my head.
This is W8A again. Sorry, Rusty, but you can check me in. But I had that operation. This time last year, I was going through the therapy for my left bicep. I slipped on the ice, and my arm twisted behind me. It took my rotator cuff and my bicep. They did them both. That bicep is rough. I still kind of feel it. It's been a year, but I got my motion back. Have you had your operation yet?
No, they said you got to do the physical therapy first, and then we'll reevaluate in June.
Oh, they looked at mine. They just put me in, get operated on. Okay. Well, I hope it's not tore up too bad, but you take care. I just wonder, man, that is rough operation, and the therapy is very, very, very important to get your range of motion back. W8A. I'll probably have to be in and out because I need to go play music tonight there, Rusty. But my number is 633, and my next edition that I would like to have is a 400 there, so I'd like to put in here one of those new Flex 400s, W8A, Claire.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds a lot. You know, that's one of those things that I might want to do, but it's probably a little ways away. But yeah, I got you in here, and I'm with you, Mark. I hope that Bill doesn't have too hard of a road in front of him. Closest I've ever came when I was 57, I was racing my 22-year-old daughter, I think, and I beat her. But boy, I reached down and put on that burst of speed, and I almost could hear the explosion in the hamstrings. So it only took me about 8 years before I don't feel it anymore.
Hey, I hear it.
Hey, we got you, Bradley. Number 18.
Supposed to get wiser as you get older, Rusty.
Kilo 3, Echo Sierra Lima.
All right, Eric. Good sound and signal as always. Number 19.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I'm going to turn my amplifier on.
There goes my lights.
Yeah, mine dimmed too.
No, it's not on yet. I got to get up to do that.
You got a pull start on that thing?
Yeah, I sure do, buddy. It's a Kickstarter.
Surprise.
It's got a Kickstarter.
There you go. Got yourself a Harley.
4-stroke. You got it.
I think he meant he's got to kick it to get it to go.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be my next step, I guess. I was thinking about, I know what my next step's going to be.
Well, Sean, I thought your next step was you were going to move to Ukraine and plug into the old woodpecker array and just set up shop there with about 3 million watts.
They wouldn't want none of me, Bill.
Outside of the fact that you're in the radioactive exclusion zone, it wouldn't be a bad gig.
It's rough living, though, man. I don't know if I could live like that. I know I'd have my radio and stuff, man, but it'd be hard to carry around this amplifier.
How much does it weigh, Sean?
The deck, it's a 2-piece. The deck is about, I would say about 100 pounds, the deck itself, and that's got all the filament and the tube and everything in it. Filament transformer, which is a beast. And the transformer is probably, close to 250, between 250 to 300 pounds probably.
That sounds like a beast, that's for sure.
It's old, though. It's old. I mean, it's not old as you, Maury, but it's old. It doesn't act as old as you, though.
It does what?
I said you don't act as old as this does. This is pretty old. It acts older than you are.
Nothing's older than me. The grandkids gave me a T-shirt one time. Grandpa's older than dirt.
Do you have great-great-grandkids yet? Are you on the double parallel of grandkids yet?
I've got so many great-great-grandkids I can't count them.
Holy tamale. I'm sure one of your great-great-grandkids are old enough to have another kid for you. And, oh, boy, you got a big family.
There's quite a few of them. I better be quiet. Rusty's probably putting that in his logbook.
He writes it all down.
He's got a computer.
We already know you was a ladies' man, Sir Maury.
No, only one.
But before you was married.
Well, I had a couple of girlfriends, but I picked out the jewel.
There you go. You're blessed. This is W08A for ID. Rusty, you copy. I won't have to be gone. I got to go play music tonight with some friends just about 30 miles away. So in and out, and that was my big wish there for that. But thanks a lot. Catch you later. 633 W08A. Going that way. Bye.
All right, Mark, before you go, what do you play?
I play a bass, or dobro. Tonight I'm going to play a little ukulele bass for him because it's easier for me to drag around. There's an amplifier in the guy's house.
Is that a bluegrass band?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man, that sounds like fun. All right. Well, listen, you have a great time tonight. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. And thanks for popping in there. We'll look forward to catching up with you soon. W08A, WB8BOW. This is the Wolverine Single Sideband Net. Taking check-ins. I sent Linda an email, Sean. We'll see what happens. He must be out back starting up the generator to power that amplifier.
I figured he wasn't wearing any socks because I could barely hear him and you.
Yeah, he's pretty low tonight. I mean, he's got us trained to expect more. It's what can I say? You guys are used to hearing me down in the mud, but Sean, never.
How can you hear me? 88II.
KD8II got you in at number 20, loud and clear.
Thanks, buddy.
I can hear you with both ears.
CGS. Greg, how's it rolling over there? 88I.
I think he was feeding the doggy.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, I hadn't talked to him for a while. I was just trying to check on how everything was going there. That's cool. 88I.
Check in.
Go check in.
WB8BOW, KB3PET. Hey, you need to get rid of that Zygoos and turn on one with 100 watts there, Rusty.
Oh man, you are definitely down. You and Sean are ganging up on me and playing QRP. Sean's down too tonight, so I don't know, Bill. It's or Bob. It's just man, you guys must have got together, I think.
It might be. I called Ray. He's got the same crazy noise I got, so I don't know what it is. It's all across the band. It's just like a crazy old sine wave.
Yeah, it's not the best night for sure, but hey, man, I hear you loud and clear, and I'm just waiting to check into the Central Gulf Coast Hurricane Net on 0.3 of a watt.
Well, Ray might hear you, but I'm not even going to acknowledge you if I'm ever net control. How's that?
Listen, I could be running 1,000 watts, and you probably won't acknowledge me. I get that. That's okay.
Hey, Rusty, would you unheader 1,000 watts is still QRP?
Well, compared to you.
The only one out there that blows me out of the water is SOB, and I already got the map figured out where that one can go.
Yeah, I don't know how you get time to do all you do and still run the farm, man. That's got to be like an endless list of chores upon chores.
Anyway, Rusty, the band will get better hopefully by the time you get to me. You can actually drop me down to maybe about like 30, and by then it'll be getting dark and I'll hear you a lot better. KB3PET, WB8VOW.
Oh, you're a wise man. You're absolutely right. That would make a lot of difference, and I'll do that if I can. Who knows? It's hard to say how many we'll get here. And tonight we're talking about the next thing you plan to do with your shack. What's your next improvement? And I'm asking everybody to keep it under 2 minutes because I know some guys can really get going. But at any rate, hey, we'll look forward to hearing from you there. You have a great pre-net. This is WB8VOW, and I am taking pre-net check-ins for the wonderful Wolverine single sideband net. You don't have to be a member. You sure don't have to be from Michigan. But you got a general or better class license. We'd love to have you join us tonight on the net. And as I said before, we're going to be talking about, hey, what's your next step for your shack? What do you got planned coming up here? Maybe some enhancements, maybe some new equipment. Hey, one of the guys already said a flex. All right, Mark. But at any rate, a couple of minutes on what's going on in your life and what you're doing with your shack. We should have a good time tonight. And who knows, we might pick up an idea or two for our own shacks. See, I'm kind of selfish like that. I feed off you guys vicariously. At any rate, it all begins with getting on the list, and that begins with giving me your call sign. This is WB8VOW, and I'm taking check-ins.
Rusty, I got a question.
Oh, Tom, I know you have many, many questions, but go ahead, try me.
Number 20 you have listed as KD8II.
It should have refreshed for you by now. It's AD8, Alpha Delta 8, India. That's Don over in Marcellus. But I will admit, I put it in wrong, but I corrected it, and it looks correct on my list.
Okay on mine.
Okay on mine.
And I'm 88, so I should know. hate
like
to
to
say
keep
this, but I
Rusty
think you
in,
need a refresh.
making sure that he does it right.
Yeah, Doris watches me like a hawk. Tom, I think you need a refresh.
Making sure he does it right is a full-time job, Doris.
He's not wrong. My mom liked my wife better.
As long as you didn't like your ex-wife better.
Actually, I think my mom liked my dog better, too.
Oh, Sean's got the YouTube broadcast going. Excellent. Thanks, Sean.
What's that under on YouTube?
It's in the AIM window. You can put a link right there.
Oh, okay. That's what I needed, something more to confuse me.
Yeah, I listened to it the other night, and I came back on the radio anyway. You really realized how silly I sounded. Hi, Hank.
I just want to make sure he doesn't have a camera. But looks like I'm okay. And I'm 20 over. Whoa!
Okay, read me that call on line number 20, because I refreshed it. I get it the same way.
Oh, that's weird. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me go in and just redo it. That's not a problem. And we'll see. Okay. I just redid it and tabbed over. See if you can refresh now. It should be Alpha Delta 8 India India.
My mom told me I was always a problem.
Oh, a nice fellow like you. I can't believe that.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad there was no internet when I was a kid, because as far as I'm concerned, there's no proof, right?
There you go. You're right. I mean, there is very little paper trail on all of us born before 1960.
Yeah, roger that, and I'm glad of it.
See, that's what Maury worries about. PFC knows that I have a huge file on him, and someday I might just give it to the governor.
That's being mean.
Yeah, it's mean to the governor.
SAs are not supposed to be mean to people.
Wait a minute, I thought SAs got to be SAs because they were being mean to people.
No. I don't think so. I think it was we rubbed Doris the wrong way somehow.
I would never rub Doris the wrong way.
There's a difference between being smart to someone and being mean to someone.
Thank you, David.
And that's why he doesn't have an SA award. Way to go, David. I know whatever VE3KUZ said, it was it was a zinger. So I guess that's not necessarily mean, but it was a zinger.
Well, I don't know how I got one. KTAS.
I know, you are the sweetest man on the net. I don't get it.
I don't have one. I'm just kidding. She didn't give me that one. She missed me.
Who's she going to beat at cards?
You're breaking up.
I want Sean to put himself on YouTube, and of course he would have to wear pants, but I think he should do one live.
You know, I've talked to a couple of stations that have live feeds if you go to their web page while they're on the air. That's pretty cool.
Well, you know, N8ISS did that for a little while, and it had some cool factor about it. But you know, you got to be, let me just say, a seasoned veteran to pull it off well.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but my shack's too messy for me to feel comfortable about doing that.
I didn't want to hear everybody saying, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were that ugly." That's the reason I don't do it.
I don't want them to see me sitting here in my sweats, unshaven.
Yeah, there you go. You know. All right, this is the Wolverine single sideband net, and we have a scant. Yeah, that's a word that doesn't get used a lot. A scant. That means very little time before we start the net, and you know, it looks like about 13 minutes, maybe 12 minutes as the clock goes. But if you'd like to get on the pre-net list, we'd love to have you. My goodness, what a great net we have. We got a lot of good people on this net, and we're still in the low 20s, so it's not like a real long wait to get your comments on there. But we'd love to have you if you'd like to get on, and it all starts with you giving me your call sign. WB8VOW, taking check-ins.
Delta 9, Tango, Yankee Oscar. Delta 9, Tango, Yankee Oscar.
Hey, Rusty, Greg here, KCGS.
Go ahead, sir.
What is the question?
The question is, you like this question, but I got to hold you to about 2 minutes. What is your next step to improving your shack?
Thank you.
Have fun with it. This is the Wolverine single sideband net, and we are about 8 minutes out from starting the net. If you'd like to get on the list, we'd love to have you tonight. This is a great overall net where we kind of share life with each other, what's going on each day. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the subject of what's next for your shack, with the idea that, hey, as you share ideas, one of them might actually appeal to me or somebody else on the net, and might change the way we operate. Who knows? But you don't know until you get on the list and become a part of the net. And like I said, this is a good family, good group of people. We'd love to have you. If you'd like to get on board, just give me a call. WB8VOW taking check-ins. Looking on QRZ, I always like to look at the for sale stuff, and they got a Radio Ditty 10-watt HT. If I'm using an HT, I sure as heck don't want 10 watts next to my brain. That's a little too much. Maybe if you're plugging it into an external antenna, but 10 watts at 440 or even 2 meters, that's going to warm your forehead.
I thought the FCC had a limit on how many watts you could hold up to your ears.
Well, there is a SARS. The FCC has a website, I think, where you can plug in the numbers, and believe me, I've done that because my 80-meter antenna here is way too close to me from a standpoint of it's about 10, 12 foot away, and so the good news is it's low in frequency, which works for me, and of course I'm not running buku power through it, but I've done the computations. I do not want to get the big C because I'm a ham radio operator.
Yeah, I've done that. I actually did those when my antennas at the farm, and I did it to these end-feds too. But I thought for HTs, I thought a long time ago, again, this is not factual. I just thought for some reason it was 5 watts, and then, of course, Bailfangs came out with 7 watts, and I always kind of questioned that. But, I'm with you, It's the same thing with 5G. I mean, you got microwave on your head.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, it's K3ESL. Those Bailfangs, they say 7 watts, they say 8 watts, they say 10 watts. When people have tested them, they're all 5 watts. So, I don't know if 5 watts is good next to your ear either.
Yeah, no, it's something to consider. And a lot of novices or techs may not know that, but that's why I brought it up. It's kind of like, 10 watts? No, I wouldn't do that.
You don't need to worry until your hair color changes.
Well, see, mine all fell out, but, that could be part of it.
Yeah, falling out is like the next step after the hair color changes.
When your fillings and your teeth start resonating, that's too much.
Oh, it's funny you said that. When I was in an MR, it was a kind of like a first generation, second generation MR. They hit a frequency, and everything in my mouth resonated. It was weird. It didn't last very long, but I was laying there saying, did I really just feel that? Yeah, I did.
I've had some MRIs, and some of this took a long time, and you get warm, and I asked the radiology tech, how come you get warm, and he says the magnetic fields from that realign your atoms to basically a north-south orientation, and the vibration of your atoms actually is what warms you up.
Oh yeah, what they're really and by doing that, they can create the image. And for the most part, I don't think it does any harm. At least I don't think anybody's ever, been able to show that it does any harm. Or always pays.
Well, the last one I had, it was a long one, and I went into the changing room, and I leaned up against the metal lockers, and I got stuck for a while.
You remember the Saturday Night Live about the kid that was eating too many refrigerator magnets? It was a warning against refrigerator magnets, and he stuck to the bus. That was one. That was one warning sign. He always pointed north was another.
I have not seen that one. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was back in the old days with the original group. Hey, 2-minute warning. We're just warming up the airways for the start of the Wolverine single sideband net. So this is your last chance to be a pre-net. It's a position of esteem and respect being a pre-net check-in on the Wolverine single sideband net. So if you'd like to get on during pre-net, this is your last chance. So we'll be kicking the net off in less than 2 minutes. Give me a call, WB8VOW. All are welcome.
NA8I.
Hi, Gene.
Hello.
Okay, I just calculated the safe distance for using a 2-meter handy-talkie for 5 watts, talking for 1 minute. You need to be 0.75 feet away from it.
Just mark me in and out, fellas. I got company. NA8I.
All right. Hey, Gene, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Got you in and out. And, David, interesting. So a foot away and you're okay?
A foot away and you're okay.
Yeah, but how are you going to listen to it?
Well, listening to it's fine, but transmitting is you need to be a foot away from it.
Speaker mic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's always and I guess if you know about it, that's the beginning of making sure you don't do anything stupid. So, hey, that's what we're about, is making sure none of us do anything stupid, because none of us would ever do anything stupid. All right, we got about 10 seconds to that.
I with tape to the ceiling above my head is not a good idea.
Whoa, I had a double.
He had a quad.
Oh, we had a check-in in there. Who was that out there?
Hotel Charlie Oscar.
That's John?
Oscar.
Yeah, Hotel Charlie Oscar. I didn't catch what was the prefix? Hotel Charlie Oscar?
A Kilo Delta 9.
KD9.
Good evening, everyone.
Yep. KD9HCO, you're my number 23, and let's go ahead and roll this baby. Good evening and welcome, all amateurs and shortwave listeners everywhere. And thanks for the help, Sean. This is WB8VOW. My name's Rusty. I'm located down here in the southeast corner of the state in a little town called Lambertville, about 8 miles west of Lake Erie. I'll be your net host for this session of the Wolverine single sideband net. You don't have to be a member to check into the net. Everyone with a general or higher amateur radio license is welcome to participate in our net. The net meets every night of the week on this frequency, 3.935 at 2200 UTC, with pre-net starting at 2115. And, during daylight time, that basically means we get rolling around 5:15, and then, of course, we roll the net at 6, all Eastern Daylight Time. The purpose of this net is to promote good fellowship and friendship among radio operators, and if you'd like to become a member of the Wolverine Single Sideband Net, the requirements are 4 check-ins a month for 3 consecutive months. That's like 12 check-ins. After meeting these requirements, we ask that you email or send your list to K8TAS. That's Taz, and he's good on QRZ.com. You must have the check-in date and the net control call sign. Make sure that it's a net control station and not the elusive pre-net list taker, because sometimes they are different. Not tonight. We suggest that you send more than the required check-ins, just in case of any discrepancies. And there's a really nice new member packet that Doris sends out. There's a nice net certificate as well as an iron-on patch. Information about the net as well as the monthly awards, that's all available on our website at www.wssbn.com. And there's a lot of information about the net up there. So feel free to check them out, or check it out. And you can always just Google Wolverine Net and get yourself there as well. Currently, I have on the pre-net list a pretty short list tonight. VOW, EES, HAV, YAV, JJM, XUY, DXJ, SOB, PFC, AVT, ERV, EXB, TAS, CGS, WIV, LTR, W08A was in and out, KRX, ESL, 8II, PET, and NA8I is in and out. So pretty short pre-net list. Any corrections to the pre-net list? Are there any mobiles out there in the noise tonight? Are there any announcements?
November 8, X-Ray Uniform Yankee.
N8XUY. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you, Rusty. First of all, how copy, sir?
Loud and clear.
Okie dokie. I'll try not to linger on too much with this one, but this is kind of fun. And basically, back in January of this year, Wolverine Single Sideband Net, in one of our sessions, the 20th, as a matter of fact, on January, Larry, WB0RMN, mentioned to us that, his cousin over in Iowa, Charles Stover, had a situation where they had a conversation, and Charlie was saying he'd like to get on the air again as a ham operator, but his antenna had fallen. So I got thinking that wouldn't it be cool if we could somehow help out Charlie Stover, W0ZZM, to get back on the air. So I did a little research, and I contacted a guy named Ray and a guy named Rich at the Des Moines Radio Amateurs Association. I sent him a nice email mentioning that Larry had mentioned his cousin in one of our nets, and that Chuck didn't have any help to get his antenna back up. And, he's in his early 80s. So I just asked if perhaps the Des Moines Area Ham Radio Association there could get together maybe and put somebody out in the field to help out Chuck. Well, I was kind of waiting and didn't quite hear anything, so I sent a follow-up email a few days back asking the guys there in Des Moines if they might have had a chance to do any follow-up. And bingo. I got a message back explaining that from Rick Allen, N0CFL, that his club was able to dispatch one of their folks from Indianola, Iowa, to get in touch with Charlie, Larry's cousin, over in Norwalk, and they have concluded that the pulleys and whatnot failed, and they're not working. They're about 35 feet up, and they're going to be getting over there to replace those within the next week and get Chuck back on the air. So I want to just send a great salute out to Rick and everybody at the Des Moines Area Ham Operators Association, and I wanted to let them know that we were going to salute them here on the Wolverine Single Sideband Net. So salute to everyone over there at the Des Moines Area Amateur Radio Association. Nice work from all of us at the Wolverine Single Sideband Net. Many thanks and best regards. Back to you there, Rusty.
All right, N8XUY. Well, hey, thank you so much, Sam, for championing that and working through all the details. What a great project, and boy, I hope it goes well for them, and they get Larry's cousin on the air, and he maybe on one of these nights when conditions are favorable, we'll get a ZZM call, and that would be just excellent. And yeah, I'll tell you what, I had a couple of guys that worked for me when I was a Kodak manager over in Iowa, and they're just good people over there. That's all there is to it. So that's awesome, Sam. All right, any other announcements for the net this evening? That brings me down to any short timers tonight. Okay, well, we're going to just go ahead and roll on towards the top of the list here. And, I'm going to go ahead and mention this. I knew Marcia wasn't going to be here tonight. I didn't know that so many people only attended the net because Marcia was on it. So we got to let her know that I'm about 10, 15 shy of where we usually are about this time. Now, it could be conditions, but it also could be that Marcia's not here. So I'm aware of that. At any rate, we'll go ahead and start rolling, and I'll take check-ins in about 5 to 7 minutes, and we'll get some general check-ins going as well then. This is WB8VOW, and I am, had a good day today. Good day at work. Got a lot of things moving in the right direction and accomplished. Of course, I watched a little bit of the proceedings, and I won't go into that, but the weather is just so nice. Before the net got going, I'm still dealing with this little pinched nerve, but it's getting a little better. So I've got a little hope behind me, and so I got to walk in. And towards the subject of the night, you notice I'm trying to keep it short here. So I think one of the things I'm toying with is maybe adding one of those Shack-in-a-Box radios if I could find it for the right price, and then maybe exchanging the DX70 for that. But it's everything here is pretty well good. I'm not going to get the zoning commissioner, i.e. my wife, to approve any antenna projects. So really, what I'm looking for, I guess, next is taking it on the road when we get the camper going, and taking the Zegu or the DX70 with me and setting something up remote until she finally says, "Hey, that's enough radio. Let's go do something else." and that might be 5 minutes. That might be 50 minutes. I never know how much time that her patience will allow me to operate. But I'm just grateful that she's around and we can go do things together. So I'm going to turn it down to take it now and turn it over to KA9EES, my wingman, Mr. Wednesday Night over there in Fithian, Illinois, the voice of Fithian, and then stand by Norm, HAV, in Fort Wayne. So go ahead there, Mr. Ed. How you doing tonight?
I'm staying out of trouble, but it's early. WB8VOW in the group, KA9EES, the voice of Fithian, Illinois. Let's see. Tomorrow night, I am going to try to share Smart SDR, the pen adapter and controls that I look at as I operate this Flex. It's kind of like the same thing that Sean did, but mine will look a little bit different. He has to convert his, and I don't have to because all that stuff's already on my computer. I just plan on sharing that particular monitor, so we'll see how that works out. The FlexNet that I check into on Sundays, he does the net control, does it there, and Jeff, net controller in New Jersey. He shares his, so we'll see how that works out. Now, I just signed up for it about an hour and 10 minutes ago, and they made you wait 24 hours. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow at 4 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, trying to get it set up. I'm going to read up on it. I have the account. I didn't realize they made you wait 24 hours. You have to verify. Anyway, it's going great here. My feet don't hurt like they did yesterday. It's been a really good day. Went to a railroad breakfast and ate way too much this morning. Today was good. Thanks for letting me in, Rusty. WB8VOW in the group. KA9EES, the voice of 50 in Illinois.
All right, KA90ES, WB8VOW. We'll look forward to that tomorrow. And, boy, I hope the storms don't hit us or make it tough to have net right around this time. But, it's hard to say. I was watching the weather forecast, and, it's unfortunate because I do think they hype things up so much because, they're showing us in the not in the red zone. They're showing us in the brown zone. I don't know that. Well, I don't know if that means anything significant. But when I looked at what the brown zone was, it's like moderate chance of bad weather. And I got to say, up around here, we haven't had, I know I shouldn't say this, a lot of thunderstorms and big storms in the last 4 or 5 years. Now, I know Taz got nailed the other year, and it's not that they haven't been around. They just haven't been what I remember them being when I was younger. So maybe the weather's going to go through another cycle. But hopefully it'll be good for you for the net tomorrow, and everybody will be able to stay safe. But absolutely looking forward to you running things there. And I'm so glad your feet are feeling better there, Ed. In my prayers for sure. All right, let's go on down to Norm, KD9HAV. I want to hear all about your POTA adventure. And then stand by, YAV, HAV, YAV. How do you guys do that? This is the Wolverine single sideband net. Go ahead, Norm.
WBAVOW, KD9HAV, Norm in Fort Wayne. Well, POTA was pretty good. 3 of us went out. We were trying to operate out of the same shelter and run into some interference problems. So made a few contacts and had fun and good fellowship with friends, but not as good as it's been in the past. What am I doing with my shack? Well, I'm not buying any more radios, famous last words. But I did get the new Wolverine recoil in yesterday, and I ordered one of the Nano VNA analyzers so I can make sure and set it right and have a good portable operation. The G90 continues to operate exceptionally well. And I have a Yaesu FT891 that I can certainly take portable and put a little more power in the wire. But I don't have any intention of doing that right now. 20 watts has done really well for me so far, and we'll just have to see. Today was an exceptional day. My granddaughter from South Carolina was here with her husband and my two great-grandkids, and we had a great time. And I'll tell you what, I certainly understand why the good Lord gave us kids when we were young. Boy, I was about worn out by the time they left, so. Good day. I'll kick it back your way, Rusty. What am I doing for my shaft? Nothing inside here, but just getting that portable station going. KD9 HAV back to WB8VOW and the wonderful Wolverine single sideband family gathering 73, and God bless.
All right, 73 is normal. That's kind of like I said, the way I am as well. And I will say this, for those of you who haven't gone out and actually done some work outside with a fairly light lithium battery and a radio. I mean, I've been using that lithium battery that I've got. It's maybe 3 pounds over in Studio B there, and I got to charge it maybe once every month, and that's even after throwing the the 100-watt rig on there. It handles that pretty well. It's nice to be able to sit in my big overstuffed chair and listen to the net and talk to everybody. But of course, I'm not running the amp and all that stuff when I'm over there. The Studio A is still important here. Well, let's go to KC9YAV, who's going to be doing some remote work here in a few weeks, or maybe about a few weeks, I think. And let's hear from David, and then stand by K9JJM. We'll be going to Goshen and picking up Jeff next. But David, go ahead and pick it up, sir.
Okay, this is KC9YAV, David in Elkhart, and you asked how Norm and I got the AVs. It's because we're above average, very nice people. Not to be smug, but anyway. Well, what am I going to do for my shack? Well, anyway, the summer of 2023 is going to be devoted to improving antenna systems here at my QTH. That and just general housekeeping in the radio room. I've got a lot of things that need to be straightened up and reorganized along those lines. But the big work is going to be outdoor activities to get things, get some new antennas up and get things taken care of outdoors. So that's my big plans for that. So that's what's in that's my next step. So otherwise, everything's been pretty good today, and tomorrow's Wednesday, hump day, and that's about it for me. Hope everyone's having a good day, and hang on to your hats for tomorrow as the winds pick up starting tonight, and we hope that everyone fares well tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing everyone on the net tomorrow night. So we'll talk to you all later. Back to you, Rusty. And kudos, Sam, for contacting the group out in Iowa. Big hats off to you. Back to you, Rusty. WB8VOW, KC9YAV.
All right, KC9YAV, WB8VOW. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to working you when you're on vacay. But it sounds really good to do the antenna stuff, and you're lucky in that way. You're not having a zoning commissioner telling you, what you could do and what you can't do. But what can I say? She every once in a while she'll talk about taking one of my antenna support trees down, and it's like, okay, well, you can do that, but I've got to have that big maple out front. So far that's kept the trees safe, I think. Hey, before we go to JJM, let me take a pause because just a little bit over. Anybody who would like to get on the Wolverine single sideband net, hopefully the band's improved a little bit, and now's a good time to give me a call. WB8VOW, taking general check-ins at this time.
November Bravo 9 Delta.
Oh boy, we keep colliding here. This is EB8MO, Alpha Bravo 8 Mike Oscar.
And you're number 24. Anybody else before we go back to the list?
Kilo 2, Mike Foxtrot Sierra.
Andy's in there too.
Was in there.
All right, we got Jersey Mike in at K2 MFS at 25, and then AB8MO at 26. Anybody else?
Small Black Chevy.
KJ4SBC at 27. Anybody else? All right, nothing heard. I thought I had a chorus of crickets, as W9GT would say, but yeah, we actually picked up a few. That's great. I will get those on NetLogger, and in the meantime, let's go to K9JJM, the guy with a deep voice.
All right. WB8VOW and the wonderful Wolverine single sideband net. This is K9JJM, Jeff in Goshen, Indiana. Well, good afternoon, Rusty. Good afternoon, all the Wolverines. It's good to hear everybody. Decent day at work today. It actually was kind of calm, which is that calm before the storm? I don't know. Anyway, I hope it doesn't go haywire tomorrow, the rest of the week. And I was just kind of chuckling to myself. It's kind of my own little just insight. You were talking about the red zone and the brown zone. I was thinking about that movie Airplane. But anyway, let's see. Well, wife hasn't. I think she's going to hang out with a friend of hers after work tonight, so she should be home at about 6:37. So anytime now, and then we'll see what we're having for supper. What was the next thing I would like to do to the shack? Well, I kind of experimenting and dragging my heels on the future of software-defined radios, because that's the kind of direction things are going for the future. And I might as well upgrade my amplifier systems. I got a couple of Ameritrons here, but they've got 3-500Z tubes in them. And if I would have my druthers, I really like the Mercury Lux solid-state amplifier. I think that would be, of course, that's a big price tag, so that may never happen. I may just end up being able to afford to retube the other amps. I don't know. But that would be the next step. That would be the direction that I would go, Rusty. So Mercury Lux solid-state amplifier. So, hey, thanks for getting me in here, Rusty. Thank you for what you do for the Wolverine single sideband net. And with that, we'll turn it back to you, WB8VOW from K9JJM. Thanks, Rusty.
All right, Jeff. K9JJM, WB8VOW. Yeah, I think you said 3-500Zs. That is a lot of money, and the Mercury's a lot of money too. I mean, actually, it puts it would put those tubes in a price tag that wouldn't be outrageous. But well, hey, you never know. You're an up and comer, man. They keep promoting you and unfortunately giving you more responsibility. But I'm hoping they're giving you a little more pay too. So good deal, man. Yeah, we all got to have some kind of goals in sight, even if we don't reach them. It's kind of fun to think about what might be next. Well, let's go ahead and pick up this guy, N8XUY. Hey, way to go on the follow-up with the Iowa project. And, man, let us know if you get any pictures or anything like that. That would be great. That would be great to put on the website. Go ahead and pick it up there, Sam, and then stand by, Doris.
WB8VOW, Mr. Rusty, the triple nickel, here on the Wolverine single sideband. This is N8XUY. Will do with regarding to the Iowa project. It was a lot of fun seeing that come through and getting good news that we were getting some follow-up there. Wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but bingo, it did. And what a great group. And I was just tickled pink to hear that it's happening. I gave Larry here in Michigan a voice message today. Missed him when I called, so hopefully he'll get that information and be very happy with it. So, hey, all good in Manchester. Next radio project, I believe, will be straightening up my antennas on top of the house. The winter was mean to them. My long wire's not working, and I want to get that squared away. I'm thinking, if I can pull it off, putting up a telescoping mast up there, replacing the mast that I have, maybe getting some more height, maybe up to 40, 50 feet up over there, and that should do real nice for the long wire. And I might need to change the ballot on that. So it's those kind of things, and then try to straighten up the wires coming into the shack, making sure they're all nice and pretty. So that's the way it goes here. Good day, no complaining, worked in the house on some trim. I'm getting close to the end of that project in the foyer and the hallway. Hallelujah. 7-3 to all, back to net control, WB8VOW, one of our fine net control stations for 2022.
All right, N8XUY, WB8VOW. Well, you're going to be a finished carpenter by the time you get done. And I bet you it's gorgeous. Man, way to go. And that mask idea, I've got to look at my house and figure out how I could do something like that. And of course, the front and the back of the roof, they've got, there's an overhang there, and so there's not a good place to tuck it in. I'd like to have a spot where I could just tuck it in and have a little roof line to deal with and just go up and kind of do the same thing, because right now I got a droopy dipole, man. It's up around probably 25, 20, maybe 30 foot on each end, but then it kind of droops as it comes down, and then I've got it secured with just a rope to pull it in towards the window here, and stretch it out a little bit. But I think mine's going to get more wear just from the pulley going up and down, because it seems like every week I'm out there lowering it for the next storm, and then back up she goes. All right, well, let's go pick up Miss Doris, KADXJ, member number 428, and number 7 on our list tonight, and then stand by, son of a Buckeye. But go ahead, Doris.
Well, thank you, Rusty. This is Kilo 8 Delta X-Ray Juliet. And the voice is tending to go again. I don't know why. It's as soon as it's my turn, allergies kick in. What's with this picture here? So anyway, today, I did work on orders today. I got them all done. Now I'm just goofing off on the computer. And as far as the shack is concerned, we'll let Taz talk about that, since it's his project. So I've got my own projects in my computer. So anyway, nothing much else is going on here, so we'll turn it back to you. This is K8DXJ.
All right, Doris. K8DXJ. Well, it's good to have you aboard as always, and I appreciate you being there just to keep me straight. Diane's back to work now. I should have given a Diane update. So she is back to work as of this week, and they changed her shift a little bit. So Monday and Tuesday I am unsupervised. So it's really critical that you show up for both of those nights. Let's go pick up N8SOB. Boy, over there in Fort Gratiot, the powerhouse of Michigan, and hopefully you got that. Hopefully. Excuse me. Hopefully you got that powerhouse going and that amplifier fired up by now. So go ahead and take it, Sean, and then if you can, wake up Maury, because he's next.
All righty, Rusty. Hopefully you can hear me. WB8VOW and 8SOB. Well, good evening, everybody here assembled on this wonderful net, so-called the Wolverine single sideband net. Rusty in the big chair tonight, and must be Taco Tuesday. So hope everybody had a good day. We did have tacos at my mom's, can always count on that. Had a decent day at work, not too shabby. And I see tomorrow it's going to be more rain and 72 degrees or so, 70 degrees around there. I got Detroit news on. I always take a couple degrees off of there. So, but after that, it's going to be beautiful, guys. It really is. After tomorrow, we're going to be in really good shape to start getting some things done outside and getting ready for the spring. And I think it's safe to say we can put all the snow blowers away, all the shovels, and we're done with that. I think it's. I'm very. I'm kind of superstitious when it comes to things like that, but I think we are good to go. Other than that, what I'd like to add to the shack, a bigger amplifier. That would be nice. That would be in the realms of something here. But no, a beverage setup. I know that's not so much in the shack, but a little bit of upgrade into the loop and bigger wire there, and then use that old wire for a beverage and what have you, and utilize all the other receiver parts that I have on this radio. So would love to get a beverage, a receive loop out there, and got the room for it. So, but other than that, that's about it. Wouldn't mind getting another radio in here. 706 just isn't as good as I thought it would be for remote. Love the radio. We'll probably be here in the shack for a while unless something else comes up, but wouldn't mind finding a newer radio. Those 710s and Yezus, I don't know what the hoot is about that. I'd like to know. I see a lot of people buying them, a lot of people selling them. Just kind of like the FTDX10. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I got going on. Rusty doing a great job. And hopefully we get some more check-ins here and make it a good Tuesday. Other than that, just keeping my eyes on the TV. I guess we don't have too much to keep up with now until a little later, I guess. So we shall see. Back to you, Rusty. WB8VOW N8SOB.
N8SOB, WB8VOW. Well, you know, I always love seeing what you do with that cornfield out there, and that's a great idea. And that would just be a lot of fun, I think. I've always wished I had a couple of different antennas because, you know, they're going to work a little bit differently. They're going to give you an edge in certain areas, and you know, it's just fun to be able to flip from the A to B and have that comparison and stuff like that. So good on you, man. Well, it sounds good, and good for Taco Tuesday. Dang it, now I wished I had some tacos. You should always, everybody knows you should eat before you do this net. That's really important. All right, before we go pick up Private First Class Maury, I'll tell you what, let's pick him up, and then we'll do a break before we go to Harold. But yeah, we'll pick up. We'll see if Maury's awake there, and if so, we'll take him, and then we'll take a break and see if there's any additional check-ins, and then we'll pick up Harold. That sounds like a winner. Let's see if WB8PFC is available for duty.
Yeah, you woke me up, Rusty. And yeah, getting back to the Radio Shack here. I think I'm going to start getting rid of all my stuff here, except for a basic thing. I'll keep my Pro 3, which I just got back because of the magnetic storm, the static storm over Christmas wiped it out. I could not transmit on it, and I just got it back a week ago or so, and I'm glad to have it back. I'll probably just keep that, my auto tuner, and get rid of this 5K amp and the 5K tuner, and my dummy load, which is good for 5K. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of things that I want to get rid of, and I want to get a bunch of money so I can dicker with the devil when I get down there. WB8PSC.
Oh, well, if that's a 756 Pro 3, that is a pretty radio. I really, there's one on QRZ right now. And what's he want for it? $875. It's not a bad price either, but it is a pretty radio. Would not mind having one of those at all. But yeah, you know, sometimes it's time to pare down. I know I've got a few things to get rid of. I don't know if I'd be ready for Monroe. Monroe comes up on Father's Day, and I don't even know what I'm doing that weekend because that also is pretty close to my daughter's birthday. So, you know, my first in command might be telling me that I'm going over to Chicago. I never know for sure. Well, we'll break with you, and we're going to take a standby and see if anybody else would like to join the festivities here on the Wolverine Single Sideband Network. Kind of using a loose topic of what's your next step for your shack. And you know, how's your day going, and all the other stuff that we always do as well. But if you'd like to get on the list as a general check-in, I am taking general check-ins for the Wolverine Single Sideband Net. Come now.
KDNHTT. GLB Mobile. Alpha Juliet 0 Whiskey X-ray.
All right, I got a mobile out there, so let me take a quick standby for the mobile. Who's out there mobile?
That'd be going like bullet. Chavis out here, Kilo Echo 8, Golf Lima Bravo.
All right, Chavis. Well, why don't you go ahead and pick it up? I also got AJ0WX at 30, and I got a KD. I'll tell you what. Let me verify the KD8 station. KD8 station. I think it was Charlie Tango. Is there more to that call?
Yeah, it's Kilo Delta 8 Hotel Tango Tango. Dan in Madison Heights, QSL.
All right, QSL KD8 HTT got you in at 28. Anybody else before we pick up Chavis there in the big rig? Anybody else?
Charlie, W1 God Bless America. November. N9QPJ. Alpha, Charlie, Niner, X-Ray, November.
All right, I got George. Let me see. Let me get some fills here. I think I got, okay, what's the prefix for GBA?
Whiskey number 1.
Whiskey 1, GBA at 31. Then I had an N9 station, and I need the suffix for the N9 station.
November 9, Queen, Papa, Juliet.
So he's right in my noise level. Any relay out there?
Queen, Papa, Juliet.
Queen, what's the middle one?
Papa.
Okay, QPJ, N9 QPJ at 32. AC9XN at 33. Any others? All right, well, let's go ahead and give deference to Chavis out there in the mobile. Go ahead and pick it up, KE8GLB. Let's see, what did I think I heard you last on what was that? Was it D-Star? I think it was it D-Star? Yeah, maybe I caught you on D-Star, but go ahead and pick it up, Chavis, and then stand by. We'll get back on the list. Stand by, AVT.
All right, thank you, Rusty. It was, you caught me over there on, oh goodness, C4FM on the Eastern Michigan link. That's where we hang out a lot. And, yeah, so I'd like to upgrade to a Yaesu 710 is what I'd like to get in the mobile out here. We're using a 891. And it's a good radio, yeah, but I think I really need a SDR in the mobile. That's the only next step I can take, so we're going to try to get one of them. That would be my next upgrade in the ham shack. Otherwise, we're having a good day. The band is pretty noisy with all the storms out there. We won't hold it too long. Good to hear, everyone. Thanks for letting me have a moment here on the Wolverine single sideband net. And we'll turn it back to you, Rusty. I hope you have a great net. 7-3s.
Comment.
Go comment.
Hey, Chavis, it's Greg, KHCGS. Did you say a mobile is 710 or an FTDX10? Over.
The 710 for mobile is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I saw one of those. I have a friend that's using one for POTA. They're pretty impressive, and they are small.
Yes, copy that. Did my investigations. It'll fit in here nicely, and I'll finally have a SDR radio. But that's the only step up, because as you guys know, I've got a pretty good signal on the system already.
Drive careful, Chavis. KACGS, back to net.
Yes, sir. Drive safe there, Chavis, and thanks for jumping in here, man. Made my night. Haven't heard you on here for a while, so it was great, and you had a good mobile signal. All right, well, we'll get back to the list here. Harold has been patiently awaiting KE8AVT, number 485, and number 10. He's a perfect 10 tonight. Harold, go ahead and pick it up, and then ERV, stand by.
This is Harold, KE8AVT in Waterford. Well, it's been a rather quiet day around here. I did get out and do a little running around, but just outside. I didn't go driving anywhere. As far as the shack is concerned, I have a new long wire sitting over in the box. I upgraded it from a 1K to a 2K plus, so I need to get a bucket truck in here, or a bucket something or other, to go up and grab the one that's already up on the roof and change this one out. And then the way I do my antennas, the wires just slide through the different places where I turn. They are not tied down at those corners. So one of the things I can do is I can tie a rope onto the very end of the antenna and pull it all the way back through all of those different bends and everything else into a pile. When I go to put the new one up, I just tie the new rope onto the new antenna onto the old rope, go pull the old rope back the other way, and that pulls everything back up, and then all I got to do is make the final connections. Other than that, I'm kind of happy with the amplifier I got. It's doing the job, and it's an old radio, but what the heck, it's working. So from my standpoint, that's probably about the best I can do, is just kind of fix up the antennas. Thank you, Mother Nature, for taking out a branch on a tree that took out about everything in the backyard. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to you, Rusty. WB8, VOW, KE8, ABT, I'll be listening.
All right, KE8, ABT, WB8, VOW. Well, it didn't hit the house. That's the important thing. It didn't hit the house, it didn't hit the car, and it didn't hit you. So, in light of that, losing the antenna, it's cool that you got it set up so you can use it as a pull cord, and just snake that new one right in. That sounds great, man. And you got a good sounding station up there in Milford. It just sounds great. So, or Waterford. Sorry about that. And next door to Milford, I think. All right, let's go on down the log and pick up N8ERV. Tom, member number 605 and number 11 tonight. And then stand by. We'll be coming up to Twining and checking on you after we hear from Tom. So go ahead, Tom. Take it away.
Okay, Rusty, you're doing a really good job tonight. Thank you for running the net. N8ERV here, Neil. Still kind of bright here. Not much sunlight, but it's kind of bright out there. We have, 47.7 degrees outside on the front porch. And I'm just kind of looking around my radio room thinking, I picked this room because it was small. I don't know, what, 10 by 8 or something like that. And I have no other plans to put anything else in here. Of course, if I was a dreaming man, I wouldn't mind having a 9700 ICOM to match the 7300, but there again, that's dreaming. There just isn't much more room in here. I've got 2 desks in here. Was a 31-inch TV on the south wall, which is on my video cameras, and I just had it on channel 7. I turned that off because the media people are just having a field day with today, of course. So there's really not much room for anything more in here, and that's okay. There's just room for me and Oreo lays here in front of the amplifier and sleeps, and I play with my FT8 stuff. So with that, Rusty, part of my loop is down. Had it in a tree on the northeast corner on a tag rope, and the tree come to visit me the past couple of days. It actually isn't my tree, it's a neighbor's tree. Of course, it's been leaning at about a 40-degree angle for a long time. He's been trying to tell me that, I should cut it down because he can't afford to. So the darn thing is kind of laying across my backyard, and the loop still is up about 4 or 5 feet on that end. So surprisingly enough, it still works. So I got a lad in town there who works at the hardware store for his dad, and he said he would come out and cut up all the wood, to take it to burn in his wood stove. So I said, he got a deal, but he's waiting for it to dry out a little bit. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for a tagline over there. I might have to put one of them them poles you guys talking about in the corner. We'll see. With that, Rusty, good evening to you. You're doing a fine, upstanding job. I can see you working slowly but surely towards that MSA, NADRV.
Oh, Tom, you know, I've given up. That's all right. That's all right. I've given up. I think I've peaked, and that's all there is to it. That's as far as I can go, my friend. But yeah, you know, my room's a little bigger than yours, but it's pretty compacted with stuff, and my wife just rolls her eyes if I talk about another radio. But she's been pretty generous to me. And you know, a lot of times I'm just grazing on QRZ, looking at the stuff up for sale, and I got one here. It's an ICOM IC22A. I mean, who doesn't remember the ICOM 2AT? This is the mobile equivalent. Although the 2AT was synthesized, this is crystal controlled. I'm looking online. I'm trying to figure out what the other shaft he has sticking through there is. That's an old rig. $60. It could be yours, shipped. Oh my gosh, I love looking at old gear. What can I say? It's great hearing from you tonight, and we'll roll on down the log here and pick up Will, KC8EXV, member number 376, number 12 on our list, and stand by Taz. Go ahead, Will.
Comment.
KC8EXV here in 20 Michigan.
Stand by comment.
Well, not much going on here. All is well. For projects for the station, I got 2 of them, and neither one of them can I do myself. Got to hire it done. I got 5 trees that's got to be removed out of my yard because it's interfering with one of them is interfering with the roof on the house, and the other one is interfering with my radio antenna. And another one is go see my Amish friends and see if I can get a customized cabinet made to put my radio station in. Then that's what the schedule is for this summer. I don't think I'll get it all done this summer. So with that, everyone have a great evening and a better tomorrow. KC8EXB back to net control.
All right, Will. Man, yeah, that sounds like a big job, and it's good you got people around that you can call on to do it. Kind of like Harold having somebody who can, with a bucket truck. I mean, that's, you know, there comes a time, and I'm starting to realize that too, that the ladder work is going to be less and less. But it's great hearing you. Good signal from up in Twining, and you know, hope it continues to warm up there. And I was going to mention to SOB Sean that I was on the Little Red Barn Net this morning, and one of the guys said Sioux Falls has 18 inches of snow coming. So it might be safe to put that snow blower away, but it might not be. You never know. Let's go over and pick up Taz. K8TAS. Go ahead, sir, and stand by CGS.
Bam, Pumbaa.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Taz, before you go, I think there was a comment. I wanted to grab that comment.
I'm nobody important, but I forgot to tell you something, Rusty. If you're looking at a little radio to take camping, I would recommend the ICOM 706 Mark II. Small enough you can carry it in a bag. Works 2 meters, works 440. It'll do up to 100 watts on HF bands, but you can always turn it down. With that, back to that control or Taz, whoever comes first in ADRV.
All right, thanks, Tom. Let's give it to Taz.
WB8VOW, Kilo 8 Tango Alpha Sierra. Well, hello again, Rusty. Hello to everybody on the net. Enjoying everybody's comments. Rusty, thanks for being there on Tuesday night. You do a super job. Thank you for your dedication to this fine net and family. And as we do all of our net controls, of course, you know I'm here. I'll pick up the file after the net. Well, we don't want to add anything here. Our station, we're on the 7300, and the backup is a 746 Pro. I have that hooked up to the 2 meter and 6 meter beams right now, but I could always switch it if I had to go to that. Something happened with the 7300, so that's our station with the ALL 600 solid state amp, and that's it. I won't add anything. However, I am going to take down, coming up not too long, I'm going to take down the double bazooka loop. I don't like, it's not resonant on 75 and 80 meters for some reason. So I'm going to take that down and put up another antenna. So that's the antenna project I'm looking forward to doing here shortly. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Rusty. WB8VOW, Kilo 8 Tango Alpha Sierra 73.
73 there, Taz. Well, you got perfection over there, and you got Doris. I mean, you live in Nirvana. And, I was going to remind you, I knew there was that antenna project coming up, so you get that loop back up there, that will be Nirvana. We're looking forward to that because that makes it easier on us out here as well. And, it's interesting to me because I always see Sean as scoring high in the overall count on his night, and I am convinced that it's just part of being the blowtorch of Michigan there, and he's got such a great signal. It's easy for people to jump on his net, and of course he's just got such a sweet personality as well. All right, let's go ahead and we'll pick up K8CGS, and then we'll take another pause because I don't want to go too long, and then we'll be picking up Tom. But Greg, go ahead. Number 599, number 14 tonight.
Hey, well, thanks, Rusty. Greg here, K8CGS in Southwest Michigan, and I'm telling you what, it's the coldest 58 degrees I can imagine. Even people a lot healthier than I am are going, it can't be 58, but it is. So whatever the reason. Real quick for answer the question, just from a technology standpoint, kind of like how radio SDRs and, and how Flex's network and everything, I've always been into boating and fishing my whole life. I haven't bought any boat electronics in probably 15 years. And my neighbor who bought a fishing pontoon boat asked me if I would do the sonar and all that kind of stuff, from the helm station, fish finder, plotter, and then another one on the bow. So I got to do all the research. Oh my gosh, have things changed in in the last 4 years, these things network Wi-Fi to each other and talk to each other, and one system has more capability than the other one, and the other one can use that one. It's crazy. And honestly, the prices, what you would spend $4,000 4 years ago, you can get for $500 now. That's how fast they have evolved. Anyway, what's your next step in improving your shack? Actually, Rusty, not much. I think the only thing I'm pondering about is when I had my 7700, I had a nice wooden box made that fit over the top of it, left room for vents, and then I put my ACOM amp up there because the ACOM amp, it's very hard to see the numbers. All the data is there, it's just really small, and if it's off the side, you can't see them. So I did that. So I may do that again, and that would allow me to put my laptop on the right side because now the way it's set up, I'm typing left-handed, and I'm not left-handed. So nothing major. I absolutely really enjoy the simplicity of my station. It's not cluttered unless you look on the back side. And then it's cluttered. Back to you, Rusty. Great one. K8CGS.
All right, Greg. Yeah, I wouldn't want anybody looking at my wiring because it looks like the rats live back there for sure. But it all works, and I cuss myself every time I have to track something down and fix it. But hey, it all works. Well, hey, thanks for being there tonight. And you know what? I think I sold my sailboat about I guess it's about 5 years now. And I had I can't remember the name of it, but it was a fish finder GPS, and I love that thing because when you're sailing and you got a 4.5 foot draft. Now I had a swing keel, so if I ever ran aground, I could crank that keel up, and usually I could free myself. But it was just great to be able to know what depth of water you were in. And that was what I used it for. And of course, I let it go with the boat because I had absolutely no use for it without the boat. But I love boat electronics, and that was just a lifesaver for me. It was nice knowing because out in the Lake Erie where I sailed, there were what they called the mud humps. It was where back in the day they had steam shoveled out the channel. Well, they just dropped it right next to the channel, so you could be out there in 7-8 foot of water, and all of a sudden you'd be aground on these mud humps. Except now they're not mud humps; they're just mostly rock. And boy, I would always watch these guys get their brand new power boats and go flying across those, and thinking, oh my gosh, if the water is not high enough tonight, they're going to rip out the whole rear end of their boat. But and that did happen occasionally. So good boat electronics are a good thing. So I'm sure you guys will have fun with that pontoon. All right, this is the Wolverine Single Sideband Net coming up on the hour. Let me take a quick pause, see if anybody wants to get on the list, talking about the next step for your shack tonight, and anything else you want to bring up. So we got number 34 slot open, not too far away from it. Give me a call if you'd like to get aboard the Wolverine Single Sideband Net.
Contact WYV. 89 KRX returning.
All right, I got WIV and KRX. Haven't come on either of you guys yet. KRX, you're about 3 away. WIV, you're next. Anybody checking in at this point?
Whiskey Bravo 8, Bravo Hotel Kilo.
I think that's WB8, BHK. Got you in at 34.
Roger.
Anybody else?
I've got to go, Rusty.
All right, well, go, man, because you're next. WB8, WIV.
Yep, I'm running that net in about 3 minutes. And thanks for taking that there, Rusty. All you wonderful Wolverines, have a good evening. Take care. 7-3, back to you. WB8, WIV, I'm clear.
All right, Tom. Sorry about that. I'm sure you were. You should have let me know to come to you before I took the break. But hey, you have a great net. You got 2 minutes to get there. My goodness, you got all sorts of time. All right. It's good hearing from Cadillac, Michigan. Let's go down to N8LTR and stand by KRX.
Well, good evening, Rusty and the group. Oh, my. Yeah, been a day. You ever have one of those experiences when you live like a bachelor for, nigh on 25 years, then you get a phone call from an old friend who's coming by in 4 days for a visit. And you get that lightning bolt of complete panic that goes through your soul looking at the disaster that you live in and realize you have 4 days to make this look like the whole of a human being. So I'm in that boat right now, and I've got things in overdrive, so I'm going to shut down here in a minute and get back to work. Oh, boy. So anyway, life in the big city. Next thing for my shack is to, I don't know, I've got to just get clean things up in there is the big thing. But the next real thing I'm going to be adding to it is in the basement, a Collins 30S1 with a KWM2 driving it, and those are both need to get recapped and gone through and aligned and give a heavy, thorough massaging, and I'm going to keep the 30S1 all original with the mercury rectifiers and everything else. But probably a year to year and a half to get those fully up and cleaned, and I may have to repaint the amplifier cabinet. Don't quite know yet. But that's the next thing. As the world knows, all real radios glow. N8LTR, back to net.
Oh my gosh! I wished I lived closer to you. I'd bring a shovel and come over and help you, because I just can't imagine you doing that with a wounded wing there. But yeah, it's like your house looks really nice from the outside, Bill. So I think Maybe the thing is to throw a barbecue. There you go. Maybe the weather will favor you, and you can throw a barbecue and save yourself. Hey, man, Collins, that sounds great. I can't wait to hear that stuff on the air. Man, what an eloquent station that's going to make. Good for you. Well, we'll break with you, and we're going to go pick up KC9KRX on the Wolverine single sideband net. Come on in there, Bradley, and then stand by Eric.
All right. Hold on back here. WB8BOW, KC9KRX. Good evening, Rusty. Thank you for doing it here this evening. I'm not sure what the temperature is. I know we got more rain coming, supposedly, but we're trying to stay on the dry side of the door. Good evening to all. Hope everybody's doing okay and having a good evening there and staying dry as well. Other than that, just wanted to come in and say hello and wave a hand to everybody. Hope everybody has a good evening there. And everybody's pretty much hearing everybody this evening. Even as the crashes are in there, hearing everybody through them. So thanks for doing it, Rusty. WB8BOW, KC9KRX.
All right. Well, Bradley, you're peaking at about 15 over, and that's way better than when you started, as you can imagine. It's and there are a few static crashes, but they're not too bad. I have the feeling tomorrow may be a little different, so we'll just hold on and see what comes at us. But, hey, thanks for being there, my friend, and hope that you have a wonderful night. All right, let's go to K3ESL, number 619, number 19 on our list tonight over there in Bloomfield Hills. We'll pick up Eric and then stand by Don.
K3ESL. Hey, everybody on the Wolverine Net. My wife actually said to me today, can you do something about the sump pump? Because it seems like it's running all the time. And it's like, it's better than if it doesn't run. Anyway, in terms of the shack, I'm actually trying to find a desk that will accommodate 2 work computers, the rigs, and the large tube amplifier. Like an L-shaped desk. I have one now. It's just a piece of garbage though, and I'm just trying to find something nicer. It's tough. It's tough to find something with shelves where you can fit all your radio stuff on. Anyway, back to you, Rusty. K3ESL. 73s, everybody.
Okay, Eric. Yeah, good luck on finding a good desk. I don't know if Kia's got anything like that. A Kia or I've got an old solder that I've had probably for 20, 30 years. And, just to give you an idea of the design of the desk, it's solder, right? So it's that heavier than heck board. But, I've got a good probably 5/8 inch on the top, maybe 3/4, I don't know. And then it's just got basically kind of boxed in with a couple of drawer units that hangs from it, and then on the outer sides of the drawer units are really the legs to it that go down to the floor. And I wonder about it because I'm always afraid to get up on it because I could just see this thing, and when it fails, it's gonna split right in half. And I'm going to have the AL80B meet the 7300 and all those radios, and yeah, that's going to be bad. But so far, I see no evidence of stress cracks or anything like that. But my gosh, it's got to be holding up at least a couple 100 pounds. So yeah, getting a good firm desk that you can trust is very important. All right, let's go down and pick up Don, AD8II, and stand by KB3PET. We'll probably be able to hear you just fine the way the band's going there, Bob, from Grindstone. But Don from Marcellus, you're up.
WB8BOW, AD8II. Thanks, Rusty. Could hear you. Thanks for doing the net. Yeah, I've been able to copy everybody. Got a little bit of weather coming in here over the lake, so could be marginal. It's interesting what everybody wants to do with their nets. I'm trying to get involved. We want to get some 220, some 900 megahertz thing going down here. We've got a couple repeaters that are working, and not a lot of people do the 200 link anymore. You lose it, you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And there's also a 6-meter repeater down here that's kind of fallen off. I kind of have an affection for that, so I like to do a little bit of 6-meter. As far as everything else is concerned, I mean, I'm good. So I'm kind of looking into some of the peripherals. Like I said, the 220 6-meter repeaters. Not a lot of those around. Like to keep some of that alive, and so we've been messing with that and doing some of that. So everybody sounds really good tonight. And that old Bob down there, PET, he better crank up some of that old school stuff so we can hear him on the other net. So other than that, don't have a whole lot going on. Thanks for the net. Everybody sounds great. I'll get back to you in 88 II. Back to net control, 7-3, everybody.
All right, Don. Well, you're 30 over down here and sounding great. And sometimes the little things are the big things, and they kind of make things a little bit more fun. I know I've got a tri-bander, and I know they got a couple 220 repeaters nearby, but I have never found anybody to work on them. I'm into D-Star, DMR, and Fusion, and I enjoy getting in on the big nets. The one I think I really enjoy is the Puget Sound net, and man, that's a largely 2-meter net out in Puget Sound. I think they do noon, 3, and 6. Every day they do a net, and good group of people out there. It's fun to drop in on them and on one of the digital modes and listen in. But there's just a lot of hobby here, and there's always something to get into for sure. Hey, thanks for being there tonight and sounding so good. Let's go to Swan Bob, KB3PET, member number 575 and number 21 on our list tonight. Go ahead, Bob. How you doing?
WB8VOW, KB3PET. How copy now?
Oh, man, you sound great.
Yeah, I decided to deal with the noise and go to the dipole because this thing's cut for exactly 3935 megahertz.
Oh, man, I tried that, but I never got mine quite on frequency, so I'm just a little lower, and I fudge in with the tuner. What can I say?
Well, now I'm going to ask you this. What was your impedance on that? Was it 50 ohms or 72 ohms?
50. Got 50.
Well, actually a dipole, if it's a quarter wavelength in the air, it should be about 72 ohms there, Rusty, see?
Yeah, but see, mine's a V, and it's not an inverted V. It's a V shooting towards, my best signal is Nova Scotia, man. They love me up there.
Well, when you go up there, all you got to do is remember to say, eh?
Eh?
Anyway, I don't know. What would I like to do in this shack? I'd like to make somebody a package deal on about 35 swans and get them all out of my way. What about you, Rusty? You need some projects.
I don't need any more swans, though. One is more than enough. And, it makes me nervous because it lights that fuse that makes me think I want to get more old radios. And I think there's a danger there. At least I can hold it off until I retire, but I think there's a danger.
Oh, I get that. I mean, heck, I just finished up my FT101ZD. It's working good. And like a crazy person, I'm going to start working on my Heathkit twins.
Yep, there you go. It's an addiction. Anything else for the net, my friend?
No, but I can make you a good deal on a Drake C line that I don't want.
That is one of the ones that tempts me because I ran the Drake C line back in the day. Oh, what an eloquent piece of radio. It's just a beautiful thing.
All right, Rusty, I'll let you pick up the rest. If, Ray, you can hear me, I'm going to try and follow along with you. Speedy Gonzalez, don't slow up for me tonight. I'll do the best I can. KB3PET, WB8VOW.
That's Ray for you. He operates at the speed of coffee. All right, Bob. Hey, thanks for being a part of our net tonight. I hope that you have a lot of fun with those Central Gulf Coast hurricane folks, and we'll look forward to catching up with you soon, my friend. All right, let's go on down to KD9HCO, and that's Scott over there in Bedford, Indiana, and then NB9D's on deck. So go ahead there, Scott.
Yeah, good evening. We've got about 80 degrees here. First time 80s this year. We're warm, dry,
might be some storms. Hopefully we'll avoid any damage, but everything is good here. So thanks for taking my check-in, and catch you next time. KD9HCO clear.
All right, Scott. Well, thanks for being aboard tonight. And this is going to be, hey, this is another first. I had a George to George net a couple of weeks ago. Well, this is kind of cool because you never know what's going to pop up on NetLogger, and I never know how you guys are going to stack up together. So we're going from Bedford, Indiana, and we're going to go to Bedford, New Hampshire. But I live in the town of Bedford, so, man, that's a lot of Bedfords. Go ahead and pick it up. NB9D up there in New Hampshire. Neil, go ahead and stand by. Jersey Mike.
Hey, WB8 BOW, NB90, Neil in Bedford of the New Hampshire. Yes, yep, we are doing pretty good today. Day started out, it was a little rainy, drizzly, but it turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day today. And a little bit windy, but we're really, really excited. In about a week's time, it's going to be about 73 degrees, at least that's what the forecast says. So we're looking forward to making it down to the river with our dog Bailey. And let's see. Oh, yeah, Sean, N8SOB, that's how we're connecting up through to the Wolverine single sidebandette. I want to say thank you, Sean, and everyone is sounding great this evening. Thanks for listening to what we have to say, and we'll send it back to Net Control, WB8, BOW, NB90.
NB9D, WB8VOW. We're glad you're part of our net, Neil, and really just love the technology that makes it all possible. And yeah, Sean's such a good guy, but don't tell him I said that. All right, let's go to K2MFS. Great to hear the Jersey Shore is popping in here tonight. And how you doing, Michael? And then stand by. AB8MO will be coming to you next. But first, it's all Jersey Mike.
Good evening, Rusty. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here on the Jersey Shore. It wasn't so much Saturday night. Weather-wise, normally we get maybe 3 tornadoes in a year. We had 4 touchdown in a 2-hour period. 3 of them locally right around me, Monmouth County here, but we were on the lucky side there. And thank goodness no lives were lost. Early warning system here in Jersey is really not that bad. But anyway, as far as my shack goes, I don't know what I'd like to add to it. I wouldn't mind getting the old Dentron amp fixed again. The AL80B is out for repair, so all we have left is an ALS 600 to work with. So 500 watts in a wire. Actually, I'm pretty happy, so I'm not going to complain. But appreciate the opportunity to jump in to wave a hand to everybody here on the Wolverine single sideband net there. And we're going to go grab us some dinner, take a shower, and then I have a 10-meter to net do for our local club here, so we'll do that, and then we'll have to go to bed. Work starts at the time the sun comes up. So, Rusty, thanks for picking me up there. K2MFS. Everybody have a great evening.
All right, K2MFS, WB8VOW in the Wolverines. Well, I know on the eastern side of the eastern time zone, the sun comes up a little bit earlier than it does over here. I've always enjoyed the fact that I'm on the western side of the time zone because, you know, in the summertime, it'll go till almost 10 o'clock before it's dark. And you know, it's I've never been the early bird, so I totally sympathize with making sure you get some sleep there before you got to roll out early. And you know, it sounds like some good improvements to the shack if you able to make them. And you know, it's just great hearing from you. You're doing fine. I mean, you got a 10 over signal here, Mike. So you know, the backup amp is performing well. And yeah, I got a few things I got to go through with the AL80B, but you know, it continues to pump out the RF, so I'm not too worried about the meter that's not reading quite right. I could do without that. And, one of these days I'm going to have to go through it. But we'll see. Maybe when I'm retired. Let's go to AB8MO, member 602. He's our backup go-to guy and just a good guy in general. Andy, you're up. And then we'll take a quick break before we go down to Colliersville, Tennessee, and hear from Ray. But, Andy, go ahead, sir.
All righty, let's see. I'll try direct here. This is AB8MO. Yeah, I guess I'm making it in there okay. Hitting about, 10 over on Sean's remote. He's about 20 over here, but he's running, 10 times the power I am. This is AB8MO. Let's see here. 65 degrees and a not-so-sick AB8MO, but I'm getting better. Hopefully I'll be well enough to work tomorrow. I actually ended up taking off today, too, and I called the work number about a half hour before I was scheduled to start. That's about when I'm get off, because I only live 8 miles from work, and they didn't listen to the messages, so they're calling me. I slept through 2 phone calls from work. Where are you? Where are you? And I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm sick. And as a matter of fact, it's not even enjoying my vacation day. I spent my whole vacation day in bed, plus my day off. Plus I took a sick day today. So gonna try to make up for it tomorrow. We'll see. So anyhow, just bought my tickets for the raffle for the W8LKY Alliance Ohio Amateur Radio Club radio raffle. They do one every year, and all proceeds go to a local charity. And they're raffling off a DX10 this year, so bought my tickets for that. We'll see how that goes. If I win it, I'll probably put it on the remote here. And I think Tony K8UGB, I think he's running the DX10 on his remote. Seems to work real well. And even can use 60 meters through it, where I can't with this 991. But anyhow, what else was I going to say? I don't remember now. Of course, as soon as I unkey, I'm going to remember now. So anyhow, things shack upgrades, whatever. I need another amplifier, or I don't know if I don't know if I want to pay to get this one. I don't want to mess with this one, being that the problems that I had, I was getting electrocuted with 1,000 volts. I don't really want to have that happen again. So I don't know if I want to get this Dentron 1000 ELA 1000B, I think it is, fixed, or I got a lead on possibly an FP220 for a really good price, so we'll see how that goes. And I really want something that'll work on 160 meters, but if the FP220 is a really good price, that I might just jump on that. I've read a lot of good things about those amplifiers. They were real popular back in the day, and they seem to run very, very well, from what I read anyway. So anyway, Rusty, I'll throw it back to you, and this is AB8MO.
All right, AB8MO. And yeah, I always used to say the mighty AB8MO, but you were mighty enough. You were 10 over here, so you sound good. And the thing about the amplifier in any of these tube amps, they have high voltage in them. If everything's working the way it should, you should not get that any place but where it's supposed to go. But sometimes things deteriorate and such. And that Dentron's a good unit, I'm sure. It's just getting the right guy that knows how to work on amplifiers to go through it for you. And it might surprise you how little that would cost. Now, if you want to get on 160, I get it. And, there's nothing wrong with the 220s. They've been around forever. I guess my only caution is they can bite you just as much as the Dentron can. It's just, you just got to be sure that you're keeping up on things and you're keeping an eye out for that kind of stuff. All right, well, we'll break with you, Andy, and hope you have a great night. Hope you feel better. Boy, I understand that. I took my whole week of vacation last week, and I was dealing with the pinched nerve, going to the chiropractor 3 days a week, and not having much luck. But now that I'm back to work, of course, I'm feeling better. That's just what it takes, I guess. Part of my Polish heritage. You keep me working, I do better, I think. Let's take a break and see if anybody out there wants to get on the list tonight. We're talking shacks and what the next step is for yours. Give me a call. This is the Wolverine Single Sideband Net, WB8VOW, taking check-ins. All right, nothing heard. Let's go to that guy that travels at the speed of coffee, KJ4SBC. You're up and stand by HTT. One more time for KJ4SBC. You're up.
Yeah, I got you. WB8VO, tell me, Mr. Rusty. This is Kilo Juliet Forest here, Bravo Charlie, right out here in Dryville. Well, let's see, it's 86 degrees and beautiful day outside. Had nice breeze and got the truck washed off, got all that yellow junk off it, but we'll have to see how long it'll stay before it comes floating back in and adheres to the paint job. So anyway, other than that, not a whole lot going on. The next step for this place is I've got to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff that's in here. One place or another, or maybe the garbage. I don't know. I got too much clutter in here. I got to have the room so I can get something else in here. So other than that, not a whole lot going on. We got the list started for the next one, and everybody have yourself a great evening. And I've got the next set. So with that, we're going to say $73. Everyone have a great evening. Appreciate you hearing us and getting us in here. This is Kilo Juliet Forest here, Bravo Charlie. We're going to turn back over to WB8VOW. He's doing a great, fantastic, awesome job running the net. 73, sir.
All right, 73's Ray. KJ4SBC, traveling at the speed of coffee. You have a great night. It's always good to hear you. And, yeah, I get it, man. I got a pile I got to go through, too. I think that's part of being a ham. Let's go to KD8HTT, number 391, up there in Madison Heights. Daniel, you're up. And stand by. AJ0WX will be coming to you next, Andrew. But go ahead there, Daniel. How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing well, KD8HTT. Thanks for picking me up. I appreciate that. Sounding good. I got pretty good signals on everybody here. Got a little kind of a wash from not too far up the band, but I just hit the wide notch and pinpointed the frequency and took care of that on this 7300. And that brings me to the topic that you guys are talking about tonight. I don't know. For me, it's modernizing my shack, I think, and I've started that big time. I don't mind the old amps. I run mostly Heathkit 200s, the occasional 220 once in a while. I got rid of all my Dentrons and my, I don't know what else I had here. I got one Dentron left. That's up north in Oscoda. But mostly I run the old Heathkits because they're simple to work on. There's people that still work on them. I've gotten rid of all my boat anchor radios, though I really love my my Drake Sea Line. That thing was a lot of fun to play with. But in the end, the receive is nowhere near what modern radios are capable of. If band conditions are great, then a Drake receiver will absolutely 100% perform as well as most everything out there. But when you don't have the benefit of DSP, when things get bad, that's when those older radios start to show their age, you know. But yeah, a lot of fun with that radio. I had a bunch of those, B's, C's. But anyways, yeah, my 2-meter 440 stuff, I've upgraded that to analog plus digital, which we'll see how that goes. Don't know what that's going to be like, but I've made quite a few contacts digitally and stuff like that, and just something to try. Not saying it's the future or anything like that, but anyways, and I make good money on selling my older stuff too, so that's where I'm at with it. I'm, and the other thing too is like you guys have been saying, it's just hard to find people to work on that stuff. And these modern radios, you can just send them back to California, somewhere in California that is the designated service place for those, and they show back up and all is good, you know what I mean? And it probably ends up costing you about the same thing. And if it is going to cost more than the radio's worth, they tell you, you know what I mean? So you don't have to waste your money on it or whatever, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I've done a lot of playing around, and nowadays I just want to talk and have the best radio I can have, you know, for the money or whatever. So that's where I'm at with it. Well, thanks for having me on the Wolveriners, number 391, KD8HTT, back to net control.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for being there, Dan. Really appreciate your perspective and what's going on. And, yeah, you know, I totally get it. Yeah, I love my Swan. And I'll tell you what, my Swan, sensitivity-wise, it picks up everything the 7300 does. But you're right. If I got an adjacent signal or a challenging condition, it's a little different. There's not so much you could do. But, you know, hey, it is pretty, and it's got those lovely glowing tubes that I love. And, you know, if anybody explodes a dirty bomb, I'm hoping it's the one that's, you know, that's the radio that will survive. But, you know, that's just the prepper in me, and that's about as far as the prepper in me goes, really. I like the radio. That's the big thing. Well, we'll break with you and say 73s. Hope you have a great night and appreciate you being there. Let's go down to AJ0WX, and that's Andrew over there in Clawson, and then stand by W1GBA.
Heck yeah. Good evening to everyone on the net. With regards to the topic today,
stand by, check in. We'll be taking them at the bottom of the hour.
It's really going to be over my shack, and that's I'm looking at building a off-center bed. For it, just have to, you know, cut the wire and put everything together and then throw it up. So between that, my 10-meter, 6-meter halo, actually that's probably all I really need for right now. Throw those up once we get some better weather and the source off and all that. And as far as inside the shack goes, getting the amplifier, nothing too crazy. Right now, just running 100 watts in the wire and still getting out there. So I can only imagine what I'll do once I get a nice antenna off and hopefully so back to that, AJ0WX.
All right. Well, hey, it sounds good. I mean, you're a solid S9, and you're above the noise level for me. So that you know, you got a good station there, Andrew. And you know, throwing another antenna up that might be a little better. I mean, that's one of my big drawbacks here is my antenna's not very good. But you know, that's one of the reasons I run the amp, kind of to help everybody out so they can, you know, hear me a little bit. So, at any rate, we'll appreciate you being there tonight, and we'll wish you a great night as we move on down to W1GBA, and that's David out there in Kettering, Ohio, and then let's see, standby QPJ will be coming to Daggett, Michigan next, and picking up Andreas. And then we'll be taking a break right at the bottom of the hour for additional check-ins. But go ahead and pick it up, David. W1, God bless America. You're up. All right, maybe he got called away. Let's go to N9QPJ. That's Andres and Daggett. Go ahead, sir.
Okay there, Rusty. WBACOW. Hello there, Rusty. Staying at N9QPJ, Daggett, Michigan. We've been enjoying listening to the net, but we've got a lot of static crashes. I don't know if you're hearing me, but the only thing I got to say, the only upgrade I want to do in my shack, I want to pick up a new desk tomorrow and kind of redo things here. So other than that, and an antenna. I got to get this antenna straightened out. I don't know what's wrong. So, have a good one there, Rusty. Thanks again for having me aboard. Talk to y'all later there. N9QPJ.
All right, N9QPJ. Well, you're still 5 over down here, so you're not doing too shabby with the antenna. But you know what? I can't wait to hear what the improvements sound like. I'm sure it'll be great and very noticeable. So good on you, man. And yeah, the weather's warming up. There is hope. And sorry about the static crashes. Yeah, it's that time of night, and there's probably something out there within 400 or 500 miles of us making a little noise. So, at any rate, thanks for being there tonight. Let's take a break and see if we've got any additional check-ins. This is the Wolverine single sideband net.
Kilo 4, Echo, Kilo, Tennessee.
All right, Donnie, I got you. Kilo 4, Echo, Kilo. Got you in at number 35, which means you're 3 down. So we'll be coming back to you pretty quick. Anybody else?
Tennessee Net. Wanted to check in for the number.
Get it out.
All right, I got KUZ and I got BCF in and out. Anybody else? Well, thanks for checking in there, Brother Bob, because I was wondering about you. Hadn't heard you for a while. I'm glad you're doing okay. All right, and then we got VE2. So KK4 EKK is 35, VE3 KUZ is 36, and BCF was in and out at 37. Anybody else before I run the rest of the list? And it's back to the list we go. And Ben, I am just so glad to have this guy coming up here, AC9XN. Can you believe you're my only George tonight?
How about that? Whiskey Bravo 8, voice of the Wolverine, net control extraordinaire, and Wolverine Station of the Year. This is Alpha Charlie Niner, X-Ray November in beautiful Highland, Indiana, where there's always something exciting going on. And today, I don't have any idea what it is. Thank you for doing the net tonight, Rusty. And thank you for logging my call. We had another exciting day at the accounting office today. People, we just don't understand how important people are, and that we're supposed to just drop everything, no matter what we're doing, and we're supposed to take care of them immediately, and say, oh, with the other guy. So we have all of that this time of year. It's very exciting, watching the ink dry and listening to the paint crack. So that's about all that's going on. Everybody sounded pretty good. A lot of static crashes. We got a thunderstorm coming in, probably about 40 or 50 miles southwest of me. So that'd be probably 125 miles from you or so. But other than that, as far as the check, I have really no plan. I did put up a long wire antenna horizontal last year. I never actually tested it out. I put the analyzer on it. It tunes flat, 50 ohms, no reactance at 3950, and it's got a bandwidth of about 50, so that'd be good for 39 to 4,000. I was going to try it out, but there's really nobody to try it out with, so sometime when it gets a little warmer, I'm going to hook it up, and we'll see if we can shut the amplifier and find out what happens. So you're doing a great job, my friend. Back to you, Alpha Charlie 9.
All right, 73s, George. Thanks for saving me tonight, because I would have had a sleepless, George-less night. I would have wondered what happened to all my Georges. But we've always got the Bobs, I guess. But you guys with the George name, you're just a little bit special to me. And I'm looking forward to hearing what your new antenna is going to sound like. That sounds pretty exciting, man. Good copy tonight, but hey, batten them down and watch out for those thunder boomers. So thanks for being there. All right, let's go to WB8VHK. All right, the logbook says Texas, but I know it's Mount Gilead, Ohio, and that's Herb. Go ahead and pick her up, Herb, and stand by Donnie.
Yeah, very good, Rusty. Very good evening to you and everybody else on the net tonight. This is WB8VHK, Herb in Mount Gilead, Ohio. And we've been in the shack much of the day today. Did a little bit of yard work. It was a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. 65 degrees here in north central Ohio today. But then I came in and did some work in the shack. And I don't know what else I could get for the shack here, Rusty. We moved back in. We got off the road. You know, we were in our motorhome for 6 years, and so we had a very limited station, the ICOM 7300, and a couple little accessories, and that was about it. But we came back into a Sticks and Bricks back in February of 22, and it took me until September of 22 to start setting up a shack. You check out my QRZ page, you'll see pictures of previous shacks, and I've had a lot of that the old equipment, the vintage, what I call vintage equipment, the Drake Sea Line, and had a beautiful Ten-Tec Omni 5. But this 7300 really shines over all that stuff. But I did enjoy having the two brigs. But anyway, we got the shack set up in a workshop off the garage, and we got it insulated so we could stay warm during the winter. It wasn't insulated when I first moved in here. So I don't know, like I say, what else there is to do. I just procured a little SDR dongle for the computer, for about $30 on Amazon, so I can have a little SDR receiver and play with that on the computer, and a couple of coax switches, and that's about it. We got enough other equipment to keep us plenty happy. Won't keep it. You still got some people on the list there, but I was able to copy most of them. Some of them I just couldn't pull out of the noise, but most everybody I did copy. So good to hear you, and doing a fine job as usual, Rusty. WB8VOW, WB8BHK 73. Have a great evening to everybody.
All right, Herb, you and your wife have a great night as well. And, man, I tell you, I'm looking through your QRZ page. What a handsome-looking guy with a lot of good-looking equipment. And good for you, man, on getting things up and running in the new QTH. It's just great to have you as part of the net. We appreciate that, sir. All right, let's go down and pick up Donnie, KK4EKK in Clarksville, Tennessee. Donnie, you're up, and then let's pick up Bob, the E3KUZ. But go ahead, Donnie. KK4EKK. Were you in and out?
Yeah, I think so. You said he was just in for the numbers.
Okay. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Well, that means we got to go down and pick up that SA from Windsor, DE3KUZ. I'm so proud of you. You're the caboose right now on my train. What do you got to say for yourself?
Well, hello, Rusty, and hello to the Wolverines out there. This is Bob, DE3KUZ. Just running on the Hermes light tonight. Only putting out about 45 watts at the maximum, so I don't know if everybody can copy me or not. But anyway, just having a ball with this Hermes light. It's, I don't know, I just love the receive on this thing. You can set so many filters on it, and stuff you can't even pick up with the ICOM 7300. You can filter stuff out with this, the filtering system on here. It's got so much to it. Just having a blast with it, and the only thing I don't like is the power output. I got it running into my one tube wonder right now, and it's picking it up, like I say, at about 40-45 watts max. But yeah, when I ever finally get the parts for my other amplifier, it'll probably put out at least 200 for that. So looking forward to that. Anyway, yeah, played a little bit of radio today, but mostly I was catching up on some shows that I had recorded on TV and had been putting off watching. So now I'm all caught up on that. Now I can play radio all the more. Anyway, yeah, you're doing a great job, Rusty. Hearing everybody pretty good tonight. A little bit of crackle out there. I don't know if we got another storm coming in. I think they said it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. It is that time of the year. Anyway, I'll put it back to you, Rusty. Thanks for doing the net job, net controller job. You're doing a great job there. So, WB8VOW, this is VE3KUZ.
All right, VE3KUZ, WB8VOW. Well, you know, it's kind of a short list tonight. But I'm glad we got you in. And you know, I'll tell you that Hermes is sounding great. I mean, it's 10 over. And you know, when you said you were at like 45 watts, I started thinking about how you used to sound at 45 watts, and you've done so much to improve your situation over there with your fan dipole, and you know, it's just you've done a great job on your station when you can turn around and put a 45 watt radio on, and you sound just like you always sound. I mean, it's yeah, you're a little bit more robust when you throw the amp and the 7300. I think it's the other radio online, but you know, it's not like I would have said, oh, he's on the Hermes tonight. You sound really good, and your 45 watts is doing a great job. All right, well, that puts us down to the bottom of the list, but hey, we're not down and out. we're still rolling along here. If we've got anybody else that wants to get on, this is the Wolverine single sideband net, and we're looking for check-ins.
AD8FK.
Well, I'm looking for a check-in, and I got a Leonard. Go ahead, Leonard. How you doing tonight? We're talking about, hey, what's your next step for your shack?
Hi, Leonard. Sounds like Maurice. Hello, Maurice. Good to hear you. Yeah, it's good to hear you guys out there. I thought I'd come down and see what's happening still. If I could still get a check-in tonight. Went down for the count and say hello to my buddy Rusty and my buddy Sean and Maurice. And you got a real list up. You got a good bunch of people here to check into this net here. And tell them we meet with the Carpnet and a few other nets there too, occasionally. So it's a good time. But as far as my shack is concerned, it's all I can do to keep things working. I gotta find out what's making my 101 blow a fuse. I haven't started to work on that really yet. And then my amp was weak when I got it, and then finally it lasted for a good amount, 3-4 months or more. And I think maybe a tube or two is gone on it. This is 811. So yeah, it's keeping up with things. But I'd like to get some more software on the computer. Get an SDR. I've got a couple of SDRs I've been playing around with, but nothing I can really rely upon. I haven't really put the time into learning them like I'd like to. And then getting some more screens. I had 2 or 3 screens up, but then I took them down in order to get the amp up there. Haven't put them back up yet. So, and I'd like to learn CW. I got a couple tools to help me learn CW. And the right radio came along, the newer one. I found 735 does a good job for me. And hearing complaints on your end, so it seems to do the job. But that loop antenna made a big difference. The dipole performed well, but when I got the loop tuned up, thanks to Sean there, some help from Bob, and was able to get it tuned up and singing, as they say. So, there's a few other things I could put out there, but that'll suffice it for now, and we'll send it back to you, Rusty. Good to hear you. WB8, VOW, and the Wolverine single sideband net. This is 88FK.
All right, 88FK, WB8VOW. Well, I'll tell you, I had a 737, I think it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And boy, I love that radio. I mean, it looked good. It operated flawlessly. It did everything I could ask it to do. And why in the heck did I get rid of it? I think I just ran out of room when I got the Swan. Something had to go, but I know the guy over in Pennsylvania was pretty happy with it, and I'm sure it did as good a job for him as it was doing for me. I like the two antenna inputs, and I like it had a good tuner on it. It was really pretty good on tuning itself up. But yeah, those are great radios. So sounds good. Sounds like some good plans for this year, and we're just glad you were able to make it downstairs and check in. Well, we're at the bottom of the list. Let me take a pause, see if anybody else wants to get on before we close her down. This is WB8VOW, and this is the Wolverine Single Sideband Net. I hear voices in my head. I don't know if anybody's got a copy on that station out there, but I don't want to leave anybody behind. And if anybody's got a copy and can relay, let me know. Of course, the other chance is that maybe they are just voices in my head. All right, one more time for a standby before we shut her down tonight.
But I can't copy him. I bet you Sean can hear him, though.
No, I can't pull nothing out.
Well, maybe they just are really voices in my head, and you guys are just hearing those voices. So I will apologize to the station trying to get in there, but I'm going to go ahead and shut her down tonight. 38's not bad. I want to thank everybody who jumped on the net and talked about their stations and what they're doing to improve them and what the next steps might be. We had a pretty good time and got a pretty good list of different ideas, whether it was antennas or rigs or sundry items. Hey, you know what? That's one of the fun things about the hobby. It's a big hobby, and there's always something more to explore. There's always something more to do. And there's always more money to spend. At any rate, this is WB8VOW, your net control from Lambertville, Michigan. I'm now closing this evening's edition of the wonderful Wolverine Single Sideband Net, making way for the Central Gulf Coast Hurricane Net, which Ray's going to have at the bottom of the hour, next hour there. So stick around if you want to listen to a professionally done net that runs at the speed of coffee. That's the one to get on to. I want to say good night. The 73s to all. This is WB8VOW, now returning this frequency to normal amateur use. 73s all.
Good job, Rusty. Have a good one. KHCG.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, go ahead there, Bob.
Hey, was that AB8MO that was having a problem with the Dentron amp, Andrew?
Yeah, he got bit by one.
Well, he's talking about buying an SB200. That's got more voltage on the plate than the Dentron does.
Well, that's why I kind of wanted to just mention to him that it's all about the electronics and what shape they're in. It's not that buying a 220 is going to alleviate those problems if he doesn't look a little further.
Hey, Bob, luckily he didn't get hit by this one.
Oh my God, Sean. Well, how much voltage you got on your plate? Because I'm flipping over to my whole high voltage right now, and I'm right at 4,500 volts.
6,600.
Yeah, that's nice a lot. I did the math on yours, dude. I mean, you make this Henry look like a QRP amp.
I just wish I had more amps. It's 6,600 volts at 1 amp.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, anyway, I did send Andrew an email. If you're listening, Andrew, I sent you one. You're kind of close to me up there around Cleveland. I sent you my phone number. I might be able to hook you up if you're still listening. Anyway, Sean, you're sounding good tonight. I don't know what's going on. I talked to Ray, and I've got this crazy sine wave noise, and I guess you guys in Michigan can't hear it on 3935.
Yeah, I don't get no noise here. The static crashes, my friend, thousands of miles away.
Yeah, I'm still at about S9, which is a little high for me, but that's about it. And my high voltage is a puny 2600, but the TV station I used to maintain had 6,600 volts at 50 amps, and that only bites you once.
Is that you, Andrew?
I've got hit with it and discharged, but I think that it was getting down to about 500 volts or so. But that was enough to tell me that I discharged it rest of the way.
Yeah, always trust your shorting stick before anything else. I mean, before you get around those caps, you always want to just kind of tap them with the shorting stick.
I do that with an amp. I don't care if it's been sitting here for 5 years. I still short them out.
That's why you're a smart guy.
Well, luckily with mine, I can also just disconnect the high voltage lead from the transformer up to the deck. Then I'm good to go. Man, I'll tell you what, you're sounding good tonight there, Bob. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that you reached out to Andrew there, man. Great guy, definitely great guy. Better guy than I am, so.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to Dayton or not. I offered him, if he wants something for 160, I've got, I'm going to sell the Henry. The Henry's going bye-bye. I'm going to let it go. Sean, honest to goodness, I'm going to get in too much trouble with this Henry. I'll stick with something that does right around 2K, and I'll be happy.
If I haven't gotten in trouble with this yet, you ain't going to get in trouble.
Dude, I ain't even going to tell you. Have you ever tried yours on AM?
Oh, yeah, dude, I love it.
Yeah, I know what I can do AM on this thing. I can only picture what yours does, but yeah, I've had some people QRM me. Well, I'm no longer net manager, so I don't deal with that crap anymore. But I had a couple guys QRM me, and they pretty much told me, well, they'll do what they want to do. And buddy, I'm gonna tell you what, I cranked this baby up, and I started sending CW. Well, guess what? They decided to move.
Go big or go home, eh?
That's it. Don't upset PET. He'll get you. Yeah, I'm not sure. I still don't. What is it? 250 watts of carrier is legal limit or something on AM. Yeah, I don't know. I scared myself. I key up. I said, wow, I gotta dial this down quite a bit, man. Is it what? 250 is legal limit carrier, right?
I think it's 350 or 375. I thought.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, I mean, dude, I got tuned up one time and was going to check into the DX60 net on Sunday mornings, and toward the tail end there, and you know, I thought I was good to go. I keyed up an AM, went to check in. I said, whoa, that was 1,000 carrier, and I was still swinging up.
Well, you hit right about where my max is there, Roger.
Dude, and that was at 50 watts out of the radio.
Well, that's what I get on this one when I'm right at about 45 watts in and out of the radio.
Do you think I should buy that Zegu for my, or that Henry for my Zegu?
Your Zegu, what's it do, 20 watts?
Yeah, it'd be a perfect exciter for that amp.
Hold on a second. Let me put this down to 20 watts. Let's see what it'll do.
Yeah, that's what I just did. Yeah, whoa. I guess if I were to retune, I'd get a couple 100 watts more out. But yeah, that's 20 watts out of the radio into the amp right there. That ain't too shabby. I'd be all right with that.
That's about 30 over.
Well, there's me at 20 watts right there. Oh, gee, that's the legal limit. Good, go figure.
Well, that explains your 30 over. All right. Hey, Taz and Doris, did you guys get the file, or do I need to send it to you?
Oh, you know they got it and gold-plated that bad boy already. I guarantee it's already printed off.
I'll save a copy just in case. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go find some dinner. You guys are too funny. You would have fit right in when WHAI was hanging out on the alligator net back in the 70s, before his fame and fortune. But, oh my gosh, what? You know, he would have fit right in with you.
Alligator net, meaning big mouth, little ears?
You got it. And, oh my gosh, the things he did. You know, he knows the amplifier business very well. WB8VOW, 73 is both of you guys. Have a good night.
73 there, Rusty. Hey, Sean, you know who I miss? I miss my buddy. What was he called? Captain Dave?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he was on 75 meters. He was living in a pontoon boat or something somewhere down south. And I guess the FCC finally come in and took all his stuff.
They took it all, huh? Gone.
Oh, yeah, you know, I think he'd have been all right if he would have just quit bad-mouthing the FCC.
Yeah, I mean, you get enough warnings. They're pretty